I'm on a lot of house-related subreddits, and I know you say Reddit and people get scared, but there's actually some nice parts of Reddit, and I use it for a lot of build inspiration in The Sims, and also for baking. I'm on a lot of baking-related subreddits. But I saw this post the other day. The person asked, what style would you call this? And they posted a bunch of really beautiful pictures of houses. And I don't know what style this is, okay? I don't really care. What I do care about is the fact that I want to build it in The Sims. Every single one of these photos I think is beautiful, but specifically that first one, I just really, really love this, and I think that it's definitely doable in the game. By the way, the comments generally say modern English cottage or modern Tudor revival, contemporary Tudor farmhouse. This person says it's called about $10 million in Massachusetts. Wealthiest person in the subdivision chic. Oh, my face cam, I didn't mean for it to be up that high. I'm sorry. I didn't notice that it was there. That's because I did this video on my hotel pack dreams in The Sims. I'll link that down below. But anyway, we're gonna try and build something like that, I think. It's really not very big either. I'm sure in real life it's like sneakily big, but in The Sims, I don't think it's gonna be a huge house. Whenever I do these builds, I always think the beginning looks so silly from the outside. Like the shape of this is very strange, but I'm just setting it up for the roof, okay? This part's a dormer. This like 3-tile wide section is hidden in the roof. This is one of those times where you kind of have to trust the process because it really is weird in the beginning. Oh no, the roof is also way taller than I wanted it to be. I think it has to be smaller. Okay, the upstairs is officially unusable. That's fine though, that's fine. The vision doesn't involve the upstairs. I actually kind of only care about the outside of this house anyway. Maybe we could do these cute little gray shingles. And I might try and get a matching color on the trim. In the picture, it looks like the whole house is a painted light brick like this. But then this little section is the front is a stone color. It's actually almost kind of like a reddish brick stone color. I'd bet that it might look something like this. Unfortunately, I am not sure if I like that or not. We'll do brick stairs. We'll try and tie in some red brick that way. Well, what happened if I did all brick stairs? Like that. Okay, I am unfortunately learning that I think this may end up being a little bit harder than I anticipated. Why is every swatch on this door kind of like distressed? I just want like a plain arched door. In the picture, they almost have like a dark gray color. We don't really have that, so I don't know if I can recreate that exactly, but the blue might be okay. I'm trying the seasons windows because I like how they have the black in the middle. A chimney and something on the side over here is probably also gonna help us out a lot. What did I do? Is this open now? Oh, is that like the wrong height? That is really annoying. Well, I'm not gonna use the upstairs anyway. It's too small. I've already decided that part, so we don't need to worry about it too much. I never really know what I want the back of these houses to look like, but I think I'll do something like this. The chimney's nice because I can use that brick color again. Okay, this house is like actually tiny, so we don't have a lot of room to work with on the inside. That's nice though, because we don't need to worry about having any sort of staircase or anything like that because we can't fit anything upstairs. I think I would like to have a really big bathroom because I want to decorate it really nicely in there. So maybe we could have this be the bedroom and there could be an ensuite bathroom right here. Ideally for me, there would be like a more formal entryway that isn't just straight into the living room, but I guess it is quite small in here, so we don't have a lot of options. You know what? Maybe instead of blue, I should do wood. Oh, never mind. That looks bad. Sorry. I had a thought that maybe it would be nice, but good in theory, but in practice, it doesn't match anything else. Unless we go and switch all of the windows. Am I gonna regret that? Oh, but how nice would it be if we had these beautiful wooden windows? The problem I'm having right now is this window has sort of a cream color to the outside, which is fine, but everything else is white. And the version that's more white has a different kind of window, which I like less. The windows they have in the pictures are all white anyway, so I don't have to have the wood. All right, I have unfortunately gone in and changed everything again, but I like it better this time. So here's what we're working with. It's white, but it has the brown door. I've decided to have no back door. I don't know why. I just don't want one. No, I need one. Oh, I don't know where to put it. I don't know which door to use. I think a sliding glass door makes the most sense realistically. I just don't like it. That's fine. We'll make it work. So in all those beautiful pictures, they had a decent amount of wood happening. And it oftentimes is this sort of lighter colored wood. I just used a darker wood on the door, so I don't know if that's a problem. I don't think it is. I really like these Jungle Adventure counters, and I think I might do a mix of different cabinets. So we have like the light white wood and then the white up top, because this kitchen had that and I really like it. And then I kind of want to do shelves. I don't know how bad it is if they're clipping with each other in the corner, but I think it looks cool in the picture, so I might try and recreate it. Actually, never mind. I've decided that I don't like how the white looks. I think I want it to be wooden cabinets. I put this beautiful subway tile behind them, and then I think I need to put columns on the corners just to like round off the room. This fireplace is so pretty. I think that we don't really have anything exactly the same. We do have some stone fireplaces, but they're not as like over grouted as that one is. I guess this one's always an option too, because it kind of matches the kitchen. Or wait, this one. Oh, that is so beautiful. Never mind, I'm gonna use this one. I like it better in that color scheme, but I think I can match things better if it's white. I have done this a couple times recently, so I apologize for doing it again, but I've started putting these built-ins around the fireplace. I realized that this height is like exactly perfect to fit a TV into. Speaking of Reddit, there's a whole subreddit called r/TV too high, where they would like post a picture of this and complain about how the TV is too high up, and it's like not even in their own house. Anyway, it's The Sims, so I am not that concerned about it. I like the wood on these chairs. I think that kind of ties it all together better. I do not know where to put the dining table though, because this house is quite small. I guess it could be a small table just in the corner over here. I would prefer if we could have 4 chairs around it, but I will acknowledge that I probably can't make that work. We can have bar stools. That helps. Oh no, everything in here is just seats. There's like chairs all over the place. Maybe I should do just 2 chairs in the dining room. I'm really in my sad beige era recently. I don't know what's gotten into me, but I keep making stuff like this. This is so ridiculous for a 1-bedroom house. It doesn't have any space. It's gonna be so expensive. It's already $24,000. It's more than a starter home, and I'm not even close to being done. Put a little bit of clutter inside of the bookshelves. It's very simple, and honestly, it's very beige. But again, I'm in my beige era right now. We actually did get some new swatches of beige paneling. We could do that, or we could paint everything this like really lovely light green. This is one of my favorite new swatches we've ever gotten on anything, and it does add some more color to the house. I do think I like that. It blends everything together really nicely. So by the front door, I want to have a little tiny doormat. We'll get a coat rack. I might put the thermostat over here, or maybe I'll put the thermostat by the bedroom door, kind of hidden. I would love to have some photos on the wall. I think that would be beautiful. And maybe another plant just kind of in the corner. I always kind of find it hard to know which plants to pair together in houses like this, especially because a lot of the bigger ones I just don't like. Look at this. That is the worst item in the entire game. Okay, that's maybe an exaggeration, but this is so ugly. I just don't like it. I never use that, so I end up using a lot of the same things over and over again instead. But you know what? Actually, I wanted to put topiaries on the front porch because that picture had topiaries on the front porch and I wanted to copy it. Theirs are kind of big, but I don't think I should do like the 2 high ones. Now I'm thinking I might put a sidewalk that goes all the way into a backyard. We actually have a lot of space for a nice backyard in this house because the lot is a decent size, but the house is relatively small. I will come back to that. I am getting too distracted. I have to finish decorating before I move to the outside. I'm gonna decorate these little shelves to have some kitchen clutter on them. So we have some plates. There's mugs from the kit. Do you think I can pass off these little pots as cups? Because I kind of want to try. I think that looks realistic. I've got all my plates and dishes up there. I'm aiming for very simple, not cluttered, but like tastefully decorated counters. And honestly, sad beige. I'm aiming for sad beige. But that might almost be enough. In fact, that might be the entire living space done. I don't want to overdo it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom next because I'm actually kind of excited about the bathroom, which is rare for me. We have this beautiful shower tub combo that I'd like to use. And I kind of want to do, there's like this dine out, almost marble looking tile. So I'll put that on the floor. Maybe a pretty mirror above the counter. We could probably get some nice storage. Honestly, maybe just one of these cabinets. It's not that fancy. Oh, I hate the colors on that. Ew. Maybe I could use it over here though. Why does the white have such bright colors in it? Why can't it just be white? I am embarrassed to admit that this toilet is one of the most expensive ones, but that's okay. No one said this house was gonna be cheap. The goal was never cheap. Do you think I should use this in the bathroom? I struggle a lot with decorating bathroom counters, especially in like fancy places like this, because a lot of my usual clutter almost seems like it's too much when you put it in this sort of scenario. I think this should be okay. It's not too much, it's not too little. I'll get a nice gold ceiling light. One thing I wish we had more of was like painted trim. Cottage living is kind of a good example of this, but I wish we had more stuff like this, where the trim was green and there was a pretty wallpaper. I can imagine this house having some kind of fancy wallpaper in it, but I don't know if this is too much or not. I'm a little inspired by this image right now. This is kind of what I'm going for. Which reminds me, I should probably get sconces on the wall. I always forget about wall sconces. I think of lighting in The Sims sometimes as just like a means to make the room brighter, when in reality, the lighting is kind of a fun decor option. I really need to use it that way more often because it makes such a big difference. I would say my sad beige plans are coming together in this room. I've got this bed that has a little bit of a green accent, and then I'm thinking I'll do a lot of gold and black in other places, like black frames, black lamps. We have the gold tables, the gold light. I'd like to have a dresser, but I'm not super obsessed with any of them. This one has the black accents I like. I also kind of wanted to have a computer in here, but I'm realizing there is definitely not space. This room is not really as big as I initially thought it was. I might put curtains over the sliding door too, just to kind of blend it in more. I need to keep reminding myself that less is more, at least in this particular style's case. We're really leaning into the neutrals and like things that are very plain. Ooh, maybe I could use this giant mirror. It comes in this cool gold color. Of course, it's a different color gold than all the other golds that I'm using. Things never go right in The Sims 4. It's never gonna go your way, but I do like that. An ottoman at the end of the bed? I don't think that looks very good. Is there anything green? Green but not super pattern? Because that's too much. That's the wrong shade. Never mind, just ignore it. Or wait, we could have two little stools. These come in like fuzzy beige, right? Oh, fuzzy beige. Let's try that. Okay, I think the interior's done. Now we have the whole outside to figure out, because I have not really started on that yet. I always struggle with landscaping when I'm trying to recreate real houses, because in real life, the landscaping is relatively simple. If you look at this really closely, it's just little tiny bushes, and it looks great. But then you try and do that in The Sims, and say, I don't know, we pick like these, and you just put a couple of them, that looks ridiculous. Like you can't do that. It is gonna take a lot more than just a couple little tiny bushes to make this look nice. So kind of like we discussed earlier, I think I'm gonna do brick stairs. Should I put like one line of brick? You know, this little tiny brick foundation adds some extra color. How do I feel about these little bushes? That looks kind of realistic. It's also kind of ugly. I should probably also pick something to use as the outside brick. I actually like this one a lot. This is from Jungle Adventure. It is kind of like broken, but I like the color scheme of it. I kind of like how these flowers look when they're sized up. I wonder if I could use those somewhere in the back. We could make like a fake little planter box thing like this. Right now, I'm mostly trying to think of ways to fill in and define the backyard a little bit more. So bushes, little flowers, but kind of simple ones. Before I forget, I should probably get a trash can and a mailbox. I'm adding in this custom little outdoor kitchen, bar and grill area. And then I think I'll probably get a big outdoor dining table as well. The backyard stuff pack has some really beautiful big tables with umbrellas. So I'm thinking I'll put one of those right here. I probably need to change the color of these. Should I have put a pool? Maybe there could be a pool in like this whole area. No, that might be bad, because if I do the pool like that, then how do you get to the other side? Like, how do you access the grass? I don't know. Do you need to access the grass? I mean, maybe not. New plan. What if the pool was back here and the patio went kind of around it? I don't think I like the pool. I've changed my mind. It's a bad idea. If I was gonna do a pool, I should have done it sooner. I've not prepared myself for it accurately. One thing that I have really learned my lesson about is having outdoor kitchens like this, you need to fill in all the counters. You do not want your Sims to come cook out here. It's so annoying. Maybe it's a me problem, like maybe it isn't actually that bad, but oh my God, it bothers me so much because my Sims will come like make their salad on these counters instead of using the kitchen. So to avoid that, I try and put some clutter down so they can't. I think the whole backyard is finished now, and that means I have to figure out what to do with the front. and I've been dreading that. I wish there was an in-between of these two sizes because I really, really like the big flowers sized up, but they're almost a little bit too big for this, and the small ones are like a little bit too small. Okay, I'm staring at it and trying to decide, and I think I like it. I do need something up above the door. I just don't know what. Little tiny window? We could do a tiny round window. Okay. The house might be done. Well, aside from terrain paint, that of course is the last thing. I tend to do terrain paint last because the game has so many terrain paint glitches, and I'm so nervous about the game glitching out and deleting all my terrain paint again. And I'm not being dramatic. This happened to me like 3 times yesterday in a build that I was doing on stream. So I usually just wait until the end and then do it. Otherwise I have to do it twice, and that's just not worth it. Every time I do it earlier in the build, I regret it. Every single time. Last, I think I want to go in and put a tiny chimney in the chimney, because if I bring a sim here and light the fireplace, those decorative chimneys actually work. This is something that not a lot of people know about. Ew, it's raining. Okay, well I wanted to just light this fireplace because look, the chimney, once the fireplace is lit, has smoke coming out of it. Can you tell? Of course it's raining, so you can't tell that well. I'm cheating the rain away, but look at that. It actually makes a difference. And then in your gallery photo, you can see the smoke as well. It doesn't matter where you put the chimney, so it doesn't need to be attached to a fireplace or anything. As long as you have a fireplace and it's on, it'll do that. I have no clue what to call this. Oh, and the gallery image is all tree. That's bad. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 50,000 simoleons. Beige cottage. No, that's bad. That's bad. Contemporary cottage. Okay, let's try that. I'm uploading it. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I had fun with it. I really like this kind of thing where I try and be inspired by photos that I see. And I actually really, really love the interior. This like kitchen living space is so pretty to me. The only thing is I wish the dining room was slightly bigger. It isn't a huge deal, like it's fine. I just wish it was slightly bigger. If I could have a full dining table, that would be perfect. But it is only a 1-bedroom house, so you don't need more seats than that. And they've got the bar stools, they'll be fine. I'm gonna link that Reddit post down below. You know what's so funny? I'm not even subscribed to that subreddit. It was just recommended to me, and then this whole thing has happened. But I sure am glad that it did. And on that note, I'm going to end this video right here, and I shall catch you all tomorrow. Okay? Bye, everybody. Considering I'm wearing a bright yellow shirt, this house is extremely not bright in color scheme.